This is a December 2023 video release for the Skills Label Skills-Based Pro Skills Culture platform. This is an update from the May 2023 release. I get a lot of questions. One of them is, are there actual learning labels? Do you have use cases? Now there are 300 actual high school STEM learning labels online. You can see the catalog and search for them. And now we're starting to understand how to scale from hundreds of these labels to thousands of labels. So we're trying to get them accurate and right. How do you drive the inertia to create these labels? It's a new process. I understand that. We try to make this as quick as painless as possible. We use Skills Parser to help understand the skills, content processing, and access to the labels from devices from any platform or device. Do you plan to use AI and machine learning? Yes. We see what we do is very complex. 40,000 plus skills, decades to learn some of these skills. We want to create these labels as quickly as possible and automatically as possible. And then we want to use all this data to help coefficients with the skill points. There's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of moving pieces. We launched 3 iOS apps, Learning Labels Create, Skills-Based Approach, and Skills Syllabus. We have updated all the website dashboards. We have new terms and agreements. And we're looking for researchers and partners to help us move forward. Learning Labels Create. This now in the iOS app, you can create the learning, course, and job labels. I'm going to show a job label and how to seed it. From Safari, I click on a website for a job description from Indeed. I see all the suggested skills. I can choose which skills I want to include, for my seeded label. And then I add a title. And what this does is seed the label so that I can create the label quickly when I go back to my app. I'll show you how this works, but it shows how this works outside of the app in Safari, and it would also work with like notes or news or other kinds of apps on your iOS device. So here, when I go back into the app, there is the suggested seeded label, and you can see a lot of the information is brought in. All I need to do is add an informal title, and I get help with that, and a short job description, some of the quantitative aspects of the job. And so once I do that, I work on the ROI aspect of the learning label, and we try to annualize everything so you can make comparisons between jobs, match them side by side, look at the skills and what the return on the job is supposed to be. Here are all the skills from the parser. I just choose which ones to add for the label. I could add other ones if I need to. Now I calibrate each of the skills, both in past experience that's required and the first year application of the skill, hourly, how you're going to apply the skill. What we're trying to do is kind of create a job label that people can create better or responsive pathways to target these skills. Maybe some of these jobs don't require 4 or 2 year degrees, and those that do might have better targeting if we know precisely the skills needed for the job and that are going to be applied on the job. It gives more people better chances too. People that start later and need to get on track, if they can prove that they have the skills, they can apply those skills on the first year, they might get the job. This is what the job label looks like. Now I save it. Once I save it, I get a link. I can share the link with my connections and people I'm working with. So I go to the catalog. Now I can see the saved job, and this is the job label I just created. Now you can see the labels there. I can use an image. I can use a PDF. I can email. I can text. I can text that, and I can use the label. I can access it on the website too. As you can see, the learning label interface to create is similar to the job label, and you get the same seeding too. So I want to quickly show how it would look on a tablet on a larger screen. And it's probably more effective to work through the catalog because you can see all the different items for the catalog, and you can PDF and image that. So once you have an account, you can use it across all your iOS devices and use it that way. And here's a course label. Course label takes learning labels, combines the learning labels, adds other items and kind of makes that collection. Now here's what a job label. I can take the course label and save it as a PDF and use that on my device. And here are job labels that we talked about before. So there's learning, course, and job labels, and they work together. We're trying to create better pathways. This is the Skills-Based Approach app in iOS. You can download the app from the Apple Store. This is for learners and workers to manage their skill sets and make short and long-term goals. Here I'm going to do a sample account. So I'm going to just type the sample account in. I don't see much because this is a new account. So what I'm going to do to show you how this works is I'm going to back up and restore from the website. And it's going to bring all my skills into my app, and I can show you how this works. And this is a feature that you could use as you work with skills-based approach. This is what skills-based approach is like. It's all the skills, type of skill, number of actions, how if I click on a skill, I'll see the definition. If I click on the colored area, then it'll show me how the skill is assigned to the different stages. If I click on a number, it'll show me all the actions. Skill-based approach about actions. Every stage has its actions. For planning stage, it's tasks. For the building stage, it's objectives. For the presenting stage, it's platforms. You can signal your skills. And validating stage is credentials. And from each stage, there's an accordion view with the skill, with the color. And you can click on the skill and you see all the actions related to it. Or there's a task view, like we're seeing here, where you can actually just see all the different actions for that skill within the context of the current skills-based approach. This is showing all actions. You can show all skills, or you can have skill instances. And this is one of the features in iOS is that you can actually email or text right from the app your skills to signal to your teammates. You can also show all the different actions, and like I said before, you can create an action for each of them within the app, so you can create credentials and tasks and all that. Here I can cycle through different instances of skills-based approach. So this might be, I might have a design course that's different from how I'm working, with all my courses. There's a whole onboarding process. This is a personality profile. I fill out this personality profile. It's going to suggest some skills for me that I can, decide which ones I want to add into my skills, and it helps me discover skills that I should be working on. This is related to skills, and there's 4 other options to do that to help you find skills. With an instance, I can also share instances with other people, like my classmates, my teammates. If I'm a supervisor, I can share it with my people I'm training. And this is a really kind of bundles skills-based approach and shares how you're working on skills with different people. Let's go out of the skills-based approach app into Safari and find a task that I want to bring into skills-based approach. So here I do that. I found a website and I found a task I want to do. Here, Skills Parser suggests the skills, ranks them for me, and helps me decide which ones I want to include. And I can either create a task or a credential. Here I'm going to do a task, and I can add skills if there was inspiration on the website that I thought was missed. Like I'm just going to add problem solving. And it brings in the description, the link. I can add the task type, and it's going to bring this into the skills-based approach app for me so I can manage that. So this is one way to kind of bring in content from outside the app into this app so I can start to work on that. So if I go back to the app, I'm going to go find where this task was added. So let me toggle back here. I'm back into the app. I'm going to find it. I'm going to use to sort by title. So help me the title of the task that I brought in from Safari. There it is. And you can see the link, all the skills, and that. So this helps kind of reinforce and inspire people to bring tasks in and use this as a tasking app. Now I'm just wanting to show you quickly how this works on the larger version like a desktop or a tablet. You can see that just fills the screen. It's in some ways easier to work through some of the stuff. It can archive, show different tasks, and just clicking buttons this time instead of swiping. So this works across all the apps in Apple and iOS and other implementations skills-based approach. The third app to be added into Apple iOS is the skill syllabus. And the skill syllabus allows a student from a course, it could also be used in training situations too, manage a compilation of a standard syllabus. But what it adds is the learning labels and brings the learning labels into um, the syllabus so that a student can manage tasking. So there's a lot of advantage to this app. I'm not going to go into the details because we're still getting teachers on board, but I just want to let you know that this is there. There's been improvements with the skills parser, so I want to quickly show how this might work with the website version, um, and show you how the skills parser helps speed up the process of creating these learning labels and how it's not a big deal to actually create the labels. Here I'm going to enter in a URL. I can upload files. Also, I could target standards. We'll see how it looks at different, education standards. And when I do that, it automatically is going to add a lot of information to label for me already. It brought in all these suggested skills and the standard. I'm going to click on the standard because the standard also brings in the skills too. So it brought in the NGSS standard that was targeted. As you can see, as I scroll the skills, it not only shows me percentage or ranking, but it also tells me how it was derived. So it's a little bit different than AI, and in the sense that it makes sure that you know why the skill was suggested. Now I'm going to rearrange the order and you know quantify the skills, add a description, and that's it. That's all it took to create this label with the interface now. So it's really not that bad. It takes a couple seconds to create. And now when I create the label, there's so many ways I could use this label. I could assign it. I could create series. I could put it in Google Classroom. I could put it, share a link with my classmates. I could look at a flash view, a map view, um, use it for grading. There's a lot I could do with the labels. Now that we actually have labels in here, I started to work on the dashboard to make it a little more effective. I'm going to show you the two labels. This is my learning labels, and it's kind of like a light LMS. Here you target just really the idea of kind of setting up or assigning labels to different people or a project or syllabus, creating a series and then grading, and then letting the students or workers that you're working with navigate through the series based on performance. And here I'm doing that. Here's a hierarchy view, and I could create different performance scenarios, and it's really just assign. Here I'm assigning a label to different classmates, or I could do it to a project or syllabus. And then I create the different series. I could choose different sets of outcomes. I can decide to do 3 outcomes, 1 outcome, or 10 outcomes, like almost like percentiles. And what I do is for each different scenario, I can add a label to that. And then once that performance is met, a student automatically navigates to that next label. And what this does is kind of like personalizes based on performance, create scenarios, and it kind of always helps you choose what's next in line, what to do next with the performance, and that's what this is, kind of a tight LMS with just that purpose really. So here I do grading, and the grading is not really to be exact. It's just try to get a range so I can tell Joe here what to do next in the series of labels. And it records my session, so I can go back and make sure that I did everything correctly. And if not, I can undo that and go back to it. Now this is a pathway dashboard, and with the pathway dashboard, the idea is to kind of map a course or curriculum or maybe a job, and using the advantage of skills-based approach with the skill points and aggregating information across different areas. As you can see, I'm making assignments to different elements. Like here's a job, and I see a skills course card. It automatically calculates and tabulates all the information about that. And when you add the different items to the different areas, you can see it flickers almost like a stock price, and you can see the immediate learning gains, and you can go back and forth, and decide how different elements are going to work. And I can filter and sort this to kind of narrow my focus if I need to. I could change the layout. I mean, I might not need jobs and users if this is a class of mine, so I'm just going to have my projects and syllabus. And you can see this is a wide screen, so it fits across the screen, the dashboard. And this is the pure dashboard. And with the pure dashboard, it's meant to just to have the elements there you can move around, and the sort order matters. And you can save the dashboard in sort order so you can make it responsive through a class. So if you have like 4 different students and these bunch of labels, as it progress, then you can make the assignments throughout the course. And you can do this from, all the different apps. You can do it from here on the web. So you can do it when the inspiration hits. And you can start with an empty dashboard, add a pathway to the dashboard, and then work with that as you move, through that. So this is another interpretation. So there's the structured and the pure dashboard. And you just drag to the blue marks to remove the items from the dashboard, and then I save it, update it, and then I can always look at my session to see, all the different stuff. So what does this mean? What's kind of like the call to action here? Well, we want to start having, mapping curriculums and courses to skills and map jobs to skills, and complement what we're currently doing. We want to create more shorter responsive learning pathways where skills are a focal point. Let's match the job skills to what we're learning in the classroom. Let's put students in control, manage their short-term, long-term goals. We're looking for researchers. We've been asked to submit grants. We need help. So, if you're interested, please contact us. Finally, download this. Now it's in the Apple Store. It's in Google Play. It's on the website. There's a lot of ways to create and use these labels. Give this a try. www.skillslabel.com.